This tutorial covers an introduction to the bank feed in QuickBooks Online. This is something that is absolutely optional. You don't have to do it, but if you would like to, it can really save a lot of time. So I'll show you what it is and just give a general overview of it. And there'll be other videos on more going into detail of common transactions and less common transactions. So this is just an overview. Okay, so the bank feed is basically just connecting your bank account, savings account, credit card, anything like that for business. You can connect it to QuickBooks and it will download or kind of connect all of the transactions automatically into QuickBooks for you. Now, that doesn't mean it's no work for you at all. It's just going to bring it in so you don't have to enter everything in manually. You do have to do some steps so it's officially and completely in QuickBooks, but it does save a lot of time compared to manually entering every transaction. So I'll show you an example. This first row here is showing a deposit of $55. And this way, they've already brought in the date that it cleared in the bank. You might have to change the date depending on what you need. But the date that it cleared in the bank, the description, so you kind of know where this transaction is coming from. And the payee is one of your customers or vendors. The category, usually you just have to say this is for this category, services, income, add, and you're done. So that way, all the extra information there that was already listed, it saved you the time from having to input all of that. So there is a little work to do, but it does save time. Okay, so here you'll see we're on the checking list right now because it's blue. We can see all the transactions that are waiting for us to fully enter into QuickBooks. So right now there's 19 transactions kind of sitting there waiting for you. And the savings, if we switch over here, then we'll see the list of all the transactions that have recently come in to do with your savings account. If we click on the MasterCard, we'll see all your credit card charges on this list here. So you can switch and the list will change depending on which account you've selected, and it will be blue to show that. So we'll come back over to the checking account. So 19 transactions are waiting. It updated that connection to your bank. It updated moments ago. So it's very recent. And for you, it might say a few hours ago, yesterday, anything like that is fine. You'll also see this 1,200 is the bank balance currently in QuickBooks, but that's because we're behind. We need to catch up and get these 19 fully entered in. And once you do that, the bank balance recorded in QuickBooks should match the real bank balance. So the 3,000 is what should be your bank balance when you go log into your bank as of moments ago or whatever the last time it updated. I will just kind of jump in with one point here. If you see that it's updated last week, a month ago, if it's been quite a while since it's been updating, usually you'll see some sort of alert or some sort of message right here telling you that it hasn't updated recently and some sort of action needs to be taken. And usually it's pretty quick to fix. So sometimes the connection will time out every so often. So if you ever see that, it should be quick that you just click the bank icon and enter your login information. So whatever you use to log into your bank account on the bank's website, you just put that in here and then it'll update and just check back probably later that day, the next day, and it should catch up with those recent transactions. So that's what to do if ever you see that. Okay, so right now we're on the list of the checking account. Down here we see for review, so 19 transactions are waiting for review. But if you put in something here and you realize, oh wait, I made a mistake, or I just want to see things that I've put in the past, you can click on the Categorize tab. And here you can see everything that you have entered previously. So there you can see things that you've already put. So in case you accidentally put something in, you chose the wrong category or something like that, then in case that would happen, it's not gone forever. It's just come over here and you can do whatever you need to on this tab. On the excluded tab, I would recommend not using that tab very often, as if maybe don't use it at all. but the excluded tab, the reason you want to avoid that tab is because if you exclude something and you just say, oh, maybe it was personal and you just want to kind of get rid of it, get it off. If you hit exclude, the problem is when you go to reconcile, you can't really reconcile because now you got rid of that completely out of QuickBooks. So you can't really reconcile correctly. If you have something like that, and that's for another video, but if you have something like a personal transaction that just needs to get handled in a different way, but if you want, in order to reconcile, you don't want to use exclude anything. The main thing I would say for excluding, you would just use that more if maybe there was a duplicate transaction. And so you know it is definitely already in QuickBooks and you don't need it again in there. So that would really be the only time. But yeah, I would avoid that one. All right, so back to the for review tab. So you have your list. We've got 18 things in there now. And with this list here, you can, maybe you've got quite a bit of a list. You just got your QuickBooks account and you just brought in everything for this year. So it's a lengthy list for you. What you can do is you can filter the list, you can sort it, you can search things. So you've got quite a bit of options if you're needing to look up something or find something. So you can filter the dates. You can say, I want to see everything from today, this week, last quarter, last year, or you can just do a custom date and say, whatever date range you'd like. This tab I don't use too much, but you might want to use it. This is just saying I want to see all the transactions that have been matched or transferred, or they're missing a payee. There's something blank here. So this one isn't used too often, but everyone works a little differently. So if you'd like to use any of these, you have these choices here. You can also search something. If you have a long list and you're looking for a certain transaction and it costs $110, you can just put in the amount. You can put in the description, the payee. If it's on here on this list, it should come up in the search. But keep in mind, it is a software and the software is not always perfect. So just in case you try to search something and it doesn't show up, but it's there, just maybe try sorting the date or filtering it some other way, just to make sure, instead of giving up if nothing shows up on the search box. Okay, so here you can sort things with the heading. You can click these and you can say, I want to see everything the newest first. I want to see the oldest first. You can kind of filter it or sort it by the description, that it's all categorizes the description, alphabetizes it. You can do the same thing with the payee. I want to see all the payees alphabetized or just all grouped. Category, same thing. So it'll sort the categories, it'll sort the amounts. So you can do anything like that, and everything I just showed you about filtering and sorting, you can do all of that in the categorize tab as well. So you can do the same thing, because this will eventually become a long list as you use it more. So this list will continue to grow. So when you do need to find something, this can really come in handy when you're in the categorize tab. Same thing, you can sort by date, amount. This comes really in handy for amount, because here the amounts are all just in one column when you're in this tab. So if you want to maybe see all the deposits in first, you can click amount and then it'll put all the positive numbers, all the deposits, all the income. It'll put that all first from the largest amount to the smallest. Or if you're looking for something, you know it's an expense and you want to sort it that way, then you could flip it again and then it'll show the smallest amount. So we've got this negative 228. So all the negatives are going to be money going out. Positives are going to be money coming in. And then if, let's say, you see something that's been categorized, but you want to see more information, you can just click this link and it'll open the official kind of record. It'll open that up for you so you can see more details if you need to. All right, and I will end this video with one big word of caution. If you made a mistake and you want to put anything here back on for review tab to try it again, you can click undo and it'll move it back there. That's fine. But if you have reconciled and you click undo, it can throw things off. There's a way to fix it. It's not a huge deal, but it can make things more complicated. So just to make things simpler, only use undo if you know you haven't reconciled. So, you know, if August, you haven't reconciled that month, you can undo as much as you want, put it back on for review, try again. You can do that all you want. But if you know, if maybe it's older, an older transaction from earlier in the year, and you click undo to put it back to for review, and you know you've reconciled, it could just create some extra work for you. So I just want to caution you about that. So we'll end the video here, and there will be more tutorials on the bank feed on doing your common transactions, like you see here, what to do with what all this means, and also uncommon situations as well. So I'll see you then.